Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. I'm Kevin, and I'm reviewing Witch and the Hundred Knight 2, which is out on the PlayStation 4. It's an isometric beat-em-up Diablo-style game that I really enjoyed. You play an automaton raised by a chaotic evil witch, and very quickly you join a chaotic good Valkyrie whose purpose is to end witches. I promise it makes sense in the story, but you'll have to play it to find out more. The characters are really fun. The dialogue can get a bit long-winded, but I didn't really mind because I enjoyed them. Choka's Majordomo, Hanumongan, is my absolute favorite. That cross-dressing raven is a gem and my favorite character in this game. Combat is good, it feels satisfying, and you get to use a lot of different types of weapons to capitalize on your enemy's weaknesses. And so that can be really satisfying whenever you're switching to something that you know a particular enemy is weak against. For example, parasites are really annoying until you realize that you can flip them on their backs and paralyze them like the turtles in Link to the Past. There's a process to upgrade your weapons and your equipment, which I found a little obtuse but not overly difficult, as I was able to level up my favorite weapons fairly quickly so that I could use them more often. The difficulty of the game is fairly easy, but there's a good risk-reward system with the equipment, as every time you die, you lose random pieces of equipment that you've picked up that particular run. So I found that to be a pretty good system. I did push a little too far a couple of times and lost everything, but I knew it was my own fault, and so I didn't mind. Bosses are difficult, but once you find their weakness and you're able to zero in on their attack patterns, they're not too difficult. And so I found that really satisfying. But my favorite was just running through the forest and smashing swarms of enemies. I did have a minor complaint that saving can be a bit difficult. It takes about 10 seconds where I think it should be like a single button to do it. But overall, I highly recommend the game, and so especially if you're into beat 'em up style games where you're just going through a crazy Japanese story, I think you should pick this one up. Thanks. See you next time.
Thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell, and that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.